you going to start or me?
Hi. Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Linda.
We're committed to each other.
Thank goodness. There's a lot of security in a committed relationship.
Yes, there is. It was interesting to me. I remember I had gone to confession, which I love to do. This was many, many moons ago. And I remember just talking about some things and struggles in my life. And I said to the priest, my wife knows all of this because we talk about these things together. And at the end of the whole time of confession, the priest said to me, he goes, you have such an amazing gift in your marriage in that she loves you and knows you and all of these things about you. What a great picture of God's love. And I've thought about that a lot because ultimately it's the commitment that Linda has to me and our marriage and our family that brings such consolation. It's like an opportunity for complete, total honesty. Being committed is not necessarily easy, but it's an amazing gift to give the people that you love. I was thinking about this too, that, early on in our marriage, we had made the decision that no matter how difficult things got, we were not going to use the D word, and we were going to be committed. And what we realized over the years is that there were a lot of couples that struggled with commitment, and I think it made us extremely sad to realize that it was easier for some people to be committed to a variety of things instead of their spouse and their family.
I think one reason why our commitment has stayed pretty strong through the years is because we've made the commitment that what we have together as a married couple is special and is unique and is ours. In a lot of ways, it is what I would say it's holy ground. The connection that we have, the everything between us is holy. It's set apart from everybody else. Even our children cannot enter that holy ground. And the commitment is in keeping that guard on what we call holy and not allowing those to infiltrate that holy space that we have in our marriage. I'm going to go really geeky for a second, so please bear with me. Because we consider ourselves a pretty geeky family. We like things like Doctor Who, Harry Potter. We like Star Wars. We like video games. Like I have like a 2-foot-high doll of Link from the video game Zelda, and my granddaughter calls it Mima's boyfriend. So I have bags of Zelda's emblem, and I mean, we love that kind of stuff. And so
she's committed to Zelda.
I am committed to Zelda. Well, yeah. But this imagery I want to give you comes from that background of geekiness, and it comes from the Lord of the Rings. You guys familiar with that story? You either read it or watched it. If you haven't, shame, you should watch the trilogy because it's really, really good. But in the first part of the trilogy, there is the scenario is you have this fellowship, this group of guys who their job is to go to the mountain and destroy this ring. And so in their journey, they have to go underneath these caves of Moria, and they're led by a guy with a staff, and he's called a wizard. And so Gandalf is leading them through this cave, and as they're about ready to leave, they had awoken this demon from underneath in the depths, and the demon comes up. So the fellowship is crossing this stone bridge. The fellowship's behind. Gandalf is standing on the stone bridge. The demon comes up from the depths, and Gandalf raises his staff, and he says, "You shall not pass." I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not seen it, you should Google that imagery right now because it is so awesome. Gandalf on that stone bridge he's defending the fellowship of the guys against this demon. And what I love about that imagery is, to me, that is commitment. That's what commitment looks like. You stand in the gap for somebody else. You stand in the gap for a relationship. And so for us, we say what we have is holy ground, and we stand in the gap against those who try to infiltrate that holiness. And it's going to be people sometimes who are very well-meaning. Sometimes it's parents. Sometimes it's even priests or religious figures. Sometimes it's friends. Even your children, they may even mean very well, like they want to help you out. But I think for us, that commitment that this is what we have is special and holy has proved to be very powerful, so that when those come against us in all these years, 28 years now of marriage, that we've been able to say, you shall not pass.
I know that many of you out there have struggled maybe in relationships. It's possible you've had a divorce or you've been separated, and we want you to know that we understand that many of you tried so hard to keep things together and to build a barrier against opposition and infiltration, and it just didn't work out. And so we're not having that conversation right now. That's a whole different discussion. But for many of you out there who are just beginning your relationships or are just struggling, it's good to remind one another, I'm committed to you. And that helps to say those words of commitment, to reaffirm your commitment to one another. It's an interesting thing how the enemy can infiltrate a relationship. And so be on guard and know that I personally think that the enemy's greatest desire is to destroy marriage and family, because to do that undermines the reality of God's love for us as bridegroom, as father, and so commit yourself to one another. It's okay to be committed to things. I think sometimes people are afraid of that because they're so aware of the way that things fall apart. But be like Gandalf and stand against that opposition. And again, if you've struggled and your world fell apart because of a lack of commitment, know that you're not alone, and that there's a million things that happen in relationships that are not easy. It's not simple. And we want you to know that we're here for you, to encourage you in any way, that we are committed to you.